Hello gems, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah from Red Emerald Yoga, and today we're going to be using Witching Hour Oracle. We're going to be doing the forest spread. This is going to be a spread looking at the bigger picture. This is a spread that will help us understand where to put our focus when we're stuck and not really sure what to do next. This is a great spread to do at the beginning of the day or at the beginning of a quarter or anytime you need to revisit your goals. So go ahead and choose a stone that resonates with you. This will be pile 1. This will be pile 2. And this will be pile 3. Go ahead and choose your pile and then go down to the timestamp below and I will see you in your reading. Hello gems, welcome to your reading pile 1. If you have selected this stone, this reading is for you. Okay, card 1, this is a distraction. This is a detail that you are too focused on and is getting in your way. So here we have the flames, transformation. I'm going to go to the book and see what it has to say for transformation. Card 19. It says the flames represents dramatic changes, the kinds of changes that are significant, overwhelming, and most likely unpleasant. It's never a good idea to burn bridges, but your situation may be past the point of a favorable outcome. Now it's more important to cut your losses and begin to rebuild rather than trying to salvage anything from the rubble. Your situation doesn't have to be as ominous as it sounds if you are willing to make the choice to move on. Change can be rewarding if you allow yourself to go with the flow rather than clinging to what is no longer a part of your path. If you choose to stay in your current situation, know that there may be severe consequences. This card is a strong warning to avoid self-destruction and making choices you know to be harmful to yourself and others. This is your chance to walk away and to let a new you emerge. If your reading is about love and relationships, consider how your actions may be making things worse or how your temper could be getting the better of you. Wow, I feel like that's especially true with Scorpio going on, new moon in Scorpio. I could definitely see how a temper could be making things worse. But I'm really interested in where it says to cut your losses and begin to rebuild rather than trying to salvage anything from the rubble. Let me continue reading. It says if your question is about finances, this is a wake-up call to be more mindful of your financial situation. But if your reading is about your career, it could mean that there's some sort of a sudden shakeup at work. Now, let me go back to where I was looking at. Cut your losses and begin to rebuild rather than trying to salvage anything from the rubble. So this was, what detail am I too focused on and maybe getting in my way? I think you might be too focused on the process of the burning, the purging. That could be like removing people or situations from your life that are not serving your greatest good. I think you could be too focused like on the destructive process. Like you don't need to go and announce your exit. Like you're not a plane at the airport. You don't need to announce your departure. You can just quietly leave. You don't need to always explain the how, the what, and the why if you're in a toxic situation. I feel like your card is saying you don't need to watch this fire burn. You don't need to watch it dwindle down. This is not something that you need to sit and watch until it extinguishes itself. It's just like, you know what, there's a fire and I'm leaving. I feel like this fire is a purification fire. It's kind of like what we do in yoga where we increase our heat, our internal temperature. We call that tapas, and the tapas is what we as yogis purify ourselves with, that heat, that fire. It's our way of leveling up spiritually. So I feel like there's some sort of flames, some sort of internal fire happening in your life. It might be an external fire. It might be like burning bridges. It might be, I don't know if this has to do with like a court situation or what. I'm really drawn to how it says, consider how your actions may be making things worse or how your temper could be getting the better of you. If this thing is already going up in smoke, just let it burn. You don't need to sit there and douse gasoline on it. It's going to burn on its own. Card 2, this is zoomed in. What are small details I have overlooked that need my attention? Here we have the forests. See the bigger picture. It says, there is a saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. It means don't get so caught up in the details that you miss the bigger picture. Every day is full of little things that move the needle more or less towards a good day. Some days will be dramatic and chaotic and full of what feels like 1,000 tiny spiritual cuts. And in those moments, you may feel an overwhelming need to give up, change direction, or go back to what feels safe and comfortable. Another meaning is that you are focused on minor details, like choosing a name for a business, when you could be planning major things such as what you will sell, setting up your website, or clever marketing ideas. You may stress about a small blemish in your new home instead of rejoicing in the home itself. There's so much more to do and see if you zoom out to see the bigger picture. But this card is coming up in zoomed in. What are small details I have overlooked that need my attention? Yours is seeing the bigger picture. I don't think you need to zoom out. I think you're too focused on the nitty gritty, on the little tiny details. I think you need to look at the big picture for now. I feel like that's what this card is saying. Take a look at the big picture. Yeah. Stop looking at all like the little details. Look at the big picture. I don't know what that means to you, pile 1 person. I don't know if that's tying in over here with the flames. And like maybe you are too focused on like all the little things on why this fire is coming into your life, you know, and it's like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Like it's removing this thing that has brought you a lot of stress, and it's allowing you to spread your wings and be free. It's like setting you on this new beautiful path. It's a journey. We don't really know where we're going, but like the big picture, the overall outlook looks good. Card 3 brings us to the big picture. What should I be focusing on? Midnight moth, distraction. Oh my gosh, I always say that, like moths to a flame. Let's see what this is talking about. 39. Midnight moth brings an urgent message. You are in need of a drastic redirection. This is your last stop before it's too late to turn back. You've been lured onto the wrong path by a beautiful but dangerous light. We all do it. We all compare our journey to someone else's. You might wonder what makes them so special, or how is it that they're always getting opportunities that never seem to make their way to you. The answer is that they're on their own path, which is completely separate from yours. You've been distracted, too focused on other people instead of taking the journey designed specifically for your soul. Your unique gifts have been hiding behind your attempts to be something you're not. Maybe dressing in a style not your own, but which makes you feel as though you fit in, or decorating your home to fit a trend that isn't really your taste. It could mean doing things with friends that you would rather sit out, or changing your goals to make other people happy and more comfortable. Midnight Moth wants you to know that it's not yet too late to turn things around, but it could be very soon. It may not seem so, but others can intuitively pick up when someone is not being authentic. You may be in danger of losing out on something remarkable because you weren't showing up as yourself. Remember, the universe brings you opportunities that are meant for who you are, not who others believe you should be. So I feel like that's kind of where you were in this situation. You were focused on all of these little details, that this person or situation was kind of shoving you into this box, but it really wasn't you. And I feel like you're burning that box. You're stepping out of it and you're finally finding your freedom. I feel like if you continue to focus on this situation and the leaving process, the burning process, you're going to be like this moth to the flame. Okay, it's going to be too late. You need to just like turn around, find something beautiful to distract you with, find some way that you can distract yourself with something that brings you pleasure, something that truly sparks joy in your life, something that makes you laugh, something that makes you smile. It can be something little or it can be something big. It really doesn't matter, but you have to turn your attention away from this flame. Like both of these here, it's fire. You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to burn. Just let it. You don't need to, again, I feel like you don't need to watch it burn. You don't need to watch the ship go down. I don't know if like you're watching like an ex and kind of like your relationship is over, but you find yourself still like trying to tap into what they're doing. You're looking them up on social media. You're looking them up on other online sources. You're asking friends like, hey, how's so-and-so doing? Was he so-and-so there? Like, let it go. Stop. That doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship like romantic. That could be a friend relationship. That could be something from school or work, but I'm really kind of getting romantic vibes from this. And I do kind of feel like this was a toxic situation, like somebody who was very controlling. Card 4, seeing the signs. How will I know when I'm focused on the wrong thing in the future? The invitation, and it says yes. Now, this is something I often say when I'm talking to people and there's like no doubt that this is what they should be doing or that they should not be doing. And I'm like, look, this is like, you just got a personal invitation from the universe. Like, how much more clear does it need to be? Let's see what this says about the invitation and how this is tying into your reading for how will I know when I'm focused on the wrong thing in the future. The universe is always providing pathways to the things you desire. Sometimes these paths are marked by subtle clues that are easy to miss. At other times, however, the path is incredibly clear. Perhaps a friend gave someone your number or an opportunity fell into your lap. These are invitations to your desires, but it isn't uncommon for fear to block the way forward when you are on the cusp of achieving your dreams. So I feel like this is, you're going to get an invitation, like you're literally going to be handed a sign. Like, you know what, this is not for you, whether that be in the form of a movie and you're literally watching this situation play out and it's like a freaking train wreck. This could be a situation that you're presented with, or someone tells you a story, or you see a sign. I feel like this is going to be like, you're going to feel like this is a message being sent right to you. There's going to be some divine intervention. What you've asked for has come knocking at your door. When this invitation, when this message, when this sign appears, it's a clear sign that it's telling you that, you know what, pile one person, you are focused on the wrong thing again. You're focused too much on appearance. You're focused too much on making this person happy. You're focused too much on changing who you are to please this person. You're shutting other people out of your life to only spend time with this person. I don't know, you're focused too much on money or, lavish gifts or whatever. You're focused too much on getting positive feedback from this person in some way. But yeah, you're gonna get messages, you're gonna get signs, and your job is to pay attention and literally say, yes, I see it, I acknowledge it, I get it. I get it. Card 5, this is zoomed out. How can I reconnect to the bigger picture? Deep being, self-love, and acceptance. I love that. I really feel like you were stifling who you truly were. You were not honoring and respecting your true self. I felt like you were killing your true self in order to satisfy what this person wanted and desired from you. Let's go to card 44, Deep Being, and see what that says. Rejoice. If you have received this card, it is because you have found or are very near to finding the light at the end of the tunnel. You have done the work required and have met and overcome your challenges. As a result, you are coming into a period of deep awareness, self-love, self-sovereignty, and understanding of who you are as well as who you're becoming. This is a card of peace and spiritual or emotional fulfillment. You have embraced all the things that make you you, and you are not apologizing for the parts of you that others may not like or understand. Deep being represents harmony and is a positive card no matter where it appears in a reading. In a reading about love, you can expect a joyful union. This would be a positive sign for new love, finding deeper connection in existing love, taking your relationship to the next level, or starting a family. In your reading, though, I feel it's more like coming into that relationship with yourself. Loving and accepting yourself first, so that way you recognize when somebody else is truly accepting and loving you. Like, are they loving all the parts of you? Are they loving the parts that you have recently come to love and accept? And these would be the parts that were shoved in the box before, like that, or actually not even allowed in the box. Like, those parts don't even belong in the box. You've got to hide them. You've got to camouflage them, whatever, like before they can even come in this box of who this person in the relationship wanted you to be. Now, this could be like, friend relationship, work relationship, whatever. But I feel like for most of you, it's going to be romantic. So maybe your distraction needs to be some sort of self-love, some sort of self-care. That could be positive affirmations. That could be wearing something that you're actually a little bit uncomfortable wearing because it was not allowed in this situation. Because that person made you feel ugly or small. That person made you feel self-conscious, stepping out of your comfort zone and rocking the shit out of it. Like this woman here, she's got her legs showing and she's got this beautiful flower in her hair. And I just feel like she's really honoring and stepping into her beauty. She knows she's beautiful and she's confident in her own skin. Now, it doesn't mean that you're like, if you have, health issues or if you have, things that you struggle with, that you don't try to make your situation improve a little bit more tomorrow, try to be the best version of yourself that you can be. But you don't hate yourself in the process. You don't hate yourself on the road to recovery. You don't hate yourself on the road to self-improvement. You love yourself. You nurture yourself. You tell yourself, like, look how far you've come. I'm so proud of you. Look at where you started from and look at where you are now. Or look at where, maybe you're in the same spot. Maybe it's day one. And you're like, look at where you're starting from. I'm so proud of you for taking the incentive and for motivating yourself to take this first step. The first step is hard. The first step, I think, is the hardest step. And every day it gets a little bit easier. Yes, there will be steps backwards, but it all starts with that first step. It doesn't have to be a huge step. Take baby steps, but please take the first step. For some of you, this might even be just looking in the mirror and finding 5 things that you are good at, 5 things that you love about yourself, and telling them to yourself in the mirror while looking yourself in the eye. Sometimes that alone is hard. And I feel like that's the bigger picture. Look how far you've come. And look how far you have to go. We're not going to sit here and focus on all these little nitty-gritty details. We're just going to go. So, Pile 1, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did. And I will see you soon. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you have selected this stone, this reading is for you. Card 1. This is the distraction. This is details that you were too focused on and maybe getting in your way. Here we have the sacred vows commitment. Okay, so with vows, is that like, are these marriage vows? Is your Are you worried about the vows that you took, even though your husband or your wife are not so focused on the vows that they took? Because it goes both ways. It's not just a one-way street. Okay. This could also be contracts, like work or other commitments, promising a friend that you will be there for them, promising a family member, yes, I'll do that. And your word is your bond, but like maybe that person is not so committed to you. Let's go to the book and see what that has to say. Mystics and witches are governed by higher laws. Spirit works through them, channeling love, healing, abundance, self-sovereignty, and compassion for humanity. It is these beliefs guiding the witch through life, and she is committed to honoring the task placed upon her shoulders. Now it says she, it doesn't have to necessarily be a she. This card represents the driving beliefs behind your choices. What is your moral compass? What keeps you aligned to your soul's nature and gives you a bump when you are deviating from your path? What are you passionate about? What are you committed to? What moves you, moves through you, and inspires you? So these would be the things that are they're kind of getting in your way. This is your distraction. What should bring you joy and pleasure, I feel, is no longer bringing you joy and pleasure. What used to excite you is not exciting you anymore. I feel like it's kind of stressing you out and causing you a lot of stress and disappointment. I'm wondering if your own moral compass is in conflict. Maybe someone you love and you care about has asked you to do something that is not sitting right with you. Card 2, zoomed in. What are small details that I've overlooked that need my attention? Here we have familiar, deep bonds. It's a really interesting card to come up right after the sacred vows. Let's go to card 4. The connection between witch and familiar is a deep fate-like bond. A familiar usually appears when a witch desires one, but also when a witch is ready to welcome this kind of bond into their life. Therefore, this card is about soulmate connections. It's normally a favorable card for finding love and those seeking richer relationships. It's talking about how now would be a good time to seek the comfort and support of others. Pay special attention to new people coming into your life as they have potential to be lifelong connections. Okay, so maybe you're too busy focusing on your sacred vows, your contracts, your obligations that you have to other people who are currently in your life. But I feel like for some reason, that's just not sitting right with you and you're overlooking. You're not really paying attention to potential deep connections that you could have with new people that are coming into your life. I feel like your soul tribe is kind of starting to make their presence known. You're starting to attract the people who you really vibe with. But if you don't let go of these old people that you have connections with, there's not going to be any room for your true soul tribe to fit in. They're just not going to fit into your circle. So you're going to have to really evaluate that. What kind of connections do I want to have with people? I have a saying that, your circle of people usually changes about every 6 to 12 months. The people who you thought were going to be there forever, sometimes, like either, hopefully it's you, but sometimes it's them, sometimes it's you. Somebody levels up spiritually, energetically, or maybe they level down, and then it just doesn't, you guys are not like vibing on the same level. And so it kind of gets like awkward and forced and strained. And those people kind of filter out, or maybe you filter out and you're replaced with somebody else, or you replace them with somebody else. And it's just like, oh my gosh, where have you been my whole life? I finally found you. And that person may not be there forever. There may be another shift, and that's okay. That's just a natural cycle. Let them go. You don't have to hold on to them. You don't have to feel obligated to keep them in your circle forever. If they're going to be more comfortable, feel more free, in a new circle, maybe the feeling is mutual. Maybe these people that you're trying to hold on to so hard are holding you back. And when you let it go, you're just going to feel at peace. I feel like there's so much freedom in this card. Card 3. This is the big picture. What should I be focusing on? The spell is cast. Let go. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is something that you have manifested. This is something that you have energetically been yearning for. And you have brought this into being. You've got to let it go. You can't manifest something and then be like, oh, wait, I'm not actually ready. It's too late. So what's done is done. Be careful what you wish for. It's time to surrender and trust the process. Card 4, seeing the signs. How will I know when I'm focused on the wrong thing in the future? Cast the circle, raising vibrations. All right, I'm going to go to the book and see what this has to say, but I feel it's like, I think you're going to feel it in your gut, but let's see what the book has to say. Casting a circle is a necessary step of spell work. This practice is how a witch guards their magic, protecting them from outside influences that would rather not see them succeed. But the circle also amplifies a witch's power. It is a container that acts like a battery, giving you the energy you need to see real results. Casting a circle is a step that should not be avoided. Now, I just want to point out how important the circle is. You see this in multiple cultures and religions. The circle is a very sacred symbol. Even you even see that if you go to church. You stand around in a circle and you join hands, and then there's a prayer that is done. Don't overlook the power of the circle. This card is guiding you to do things the right way, avoid cutting corners, and follow the established order of things. You may be anxious and seeking ways to skip ahead of the hard work or shorten the amount of time you need to succeed, but doing so will hurt you in the end. Essentially, this is a measure twice and cut once card that ensures you have what you need before getting started. You may require additional resources or skills, or should consider continued learning. Taking these extra steps will help ensure you are properly prepared for the goals you're about to take on. This card is all about raising your vibration, creating a sacred space, not being lazy with your spiritual practice. I feel like when you do this time to check in, now whether this is prayer, whether this is meditation, whether this is any sort of ritual work, I think you're going to know, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it somewhere in your body. I usually tend to think that you will feel it like in one of your chakras, and you will know more or less which area of your life is out of balance. But I feel like you're going to feel it. I feel like your body already gives you signs when something is off. Now, whether you choose to listen to those signs or not, that's an individual thing. Only you know that. But when we listen to the subtle signs that our body is giving us, it doesn't have to speak to us so loudly. Card 5. Zoomed out. How can I reconnect to the bigger picture? Flying ointment. Let loose. Okay, so here she's just riding off in the moonlight with sheer abandon in the buff, except for her pasties. Okay, so let's go to card 21. Okay, so card 21, flying ointment. How can I reconnect to the bigger picture? Let's see. A naked witch on a broom, flying past the full moon with her hands in the air may be a cliche, but there is a grain of truth in this image, and it's rooted in fun and going on a wild ride. Flying ointments were thought to be rubbed on broom handles, then witches would gather naked in fields to ride them. Drug compounds are delivered faster through the genital fluids, allowing for a quicker high. Over time, these stories of witches on brooms began to surface, which eventually led to the stereotype of witches who can fly. Mostly it was just for a good time, a party even, and so this card is about having fun and doing something silly or strange. Going on an adventure is sort of a metaphor for getting high, or at least doing activities which offer a similar feeling, like skydiving or whitewater rafting. But it doesn't have to be dramatic, nor does it need to involve drugs. Anything can be an adventure with the right company and attitude. You have pulled flying ointment because you're in need of some play. You may be taking life much too seriously and have forgotten how to lean into your innocence and childlike wonder. Sometimes spirit will withhold information from you until you learn to let loose and allow life to unfold. The universe doesn't want you to struggle or suffer. It wants you to be free, joyous, and to enjoy all life has to offer. All right, pile 2 person. So I don't know what you need to do to let loose. Maybe that's going on a date. Maybe that's doing a fun activity. Maybe that's buying something that you've worked really hard for. Maybe that's going on a vacation. Maybe that's trying something new. Maybe that's doing some sort of adrenaline junkie thing. I don't know. Do something fun. I feel like this card is just saying don't take things so seriously. Maybe it's stepping out of your comfort zone with this familiar person or group of people, embracing these new people or person who has come into your life that you have literally manifested into your circle. Let loose, live a little. I'm looking at this card and I just see like so many things here. I see herbs, I see tinctures, I see crystals, I see mushrooms, I see incense, candles, flower petals, all of these books. And it's like, I don't think this was just like a one-time wish upon a star type deal. I think like this is something that you've really put a lot of thought into. You've really wanted to broaden your horizons for some time. You've learned about things. You've been researching things. Maybe things are showing up in your feed that look fun and exciting. You're like, oh, yeah. Are you actually creating the conditions for that fun and that excitement to live in your life? So pile 2, that concludes your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you soon. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you have selected this stone, this reading is for you. Okay, card number 1. This is your distraction. This would be details that you were too focused on and maybe getting in your way. Ooh, here we have forgotten ghosts. It says reunion. I'm going to go to the book and see what it has to say, but right off the bat, I'm thinking like somebody from your past has either been haunting your thoughts or this person has actually resurfaced and it's kind of taking you by surprise and it's kind of taking center stage because it's so unexpected. Maybe it's so welcomed. You didn't think this person was going to come back in your life and everything else is taking a back burner. Let's go to the book and see what it has to say for 24 forgotten ghosts. A ghost doesn't always have to be scary or sad. Remember, this is your distraction, okay? It can be a joy to reunite with something or someone from your past, even if how you left things was dreadful, disagreeable, or regrettable. You may run into a former friend and realize your falling out was immature and you're both ready to move on. Or perhaps you've picked up an old notebook and reconnected with goals you'd completely forgotten about, but would really like to work on again. Or maybe a long-lost love comes back into your life. Perhaps the circumstances weren't right before, but now it seems as though you're both in a perfect place and ready to give love a second chance. Remember, this is your distraction. I know I already said that, but I feel like I need to say it again. Forgotten ghosts appears in a reading when something from your past is left unresolved, but you are happy to see it or them back in your life. If your reading is about a specific person or love, it can mean reconnecting with the person you are wondering about, but does not specify whether or not the relationship will work out. This can even be revisiting an old project, an idea, goal, or returning to an old job. It's just like something that was very dear to you from your past, I think is what this is saying. Okay, let's see what zoomed in is. This would be a small detail that you have overlooked and that needs your attention. Salt. Boundaries. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm thinking that this thing, this person that has come back into your life, it's kind of taking center stage, it's taking control of your life, and you need to set some strong boundaries. Salt is a strong purifier and is really good for boundaries. It says salt is one of the most important tools in a witch's cabinet and is often used to cast a circle of protection before performing a spell. Sprinkle salt around your home and along your windows and doors to keep negative energy out. Have you ever wondered why you feel so good near the ocean? And use it to clear harmful vibrations that are directed towards you. When salt comes into a reading, it is because you require protection and need to take steps to establish stronger boundaries. It is your responsibility to teach others how to respect your needs. You may hope others will intuitively know how to treat you, but remember that every being is experiencing their own hardships, lessons, and triggers. They may have blocks that prevent them instinctively recognizing boundaries that seem obvious to you. This is not an excuse to treat you poorly, but it is reason enough for you to speak up and communicate your needs, rather than expecting someone to guess. And of course, there are people who will push boundaries to breaking point. Some may even be doing it intentionally. Stand firm and let them know that while they may push, you will not break. So yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling. You definitely need to establish some strong boundaries. I'm drawn to the little tags. This one says self-love. This one says purity. This one says boundaries. And this one says, what does that say? And that one says protection. So I don't know which of these you're really needing. But yeah, maybe in more than one area, you need to set some boundaries. Card 3 is the big picture. What should I be focusing on? To the grave. Secrets. Okay, let's go to the book and see what this has to say. I'm really drawn to how this is the following card after salt. There's a lot of pressure in today's world. Social media is a wonderful tool that has paved the way for increased connection worldwide. But it has also pressured many to put their life on display in search of more likes, engagement, and even fame and fortune. Sadly, social media is but a reflection of everyday life. Many face pressure to do more, give more, be more for those around them. You may feel forced to explain yourself or how you spend your free time. However, your time and what's important to you are yours to share or not. Remember, it's okay to keep some things for yourself without feeling guilty or as though you must give all you have to others, including those closest to you. I'm really feeling like this is a person who has resurfaced in your life. In romantic relationships, there can be an expectation that intimacy means you should know everything about someone, but no one needs to have 100% of you. It's okay to share something with one friend that you might not share with another, or have a secret between sisters that your partner doesn't know. This card urges you to exercise discretion. Hold things close to your heart for the time being. Goals and dreams need darkness and security while they are fragile and vulnerable. This sacred time allows you the space to build a strong foundation to support you when you're faced with criticism, questions, and flat-out attempts to break down what you've built. The time will come for you to reveal your plans, but for now, take comfort in the security of your secret. I feel like this person may be trying to get more out of you, whether that be emotionally, Financially, I'm not too sure. This very well can be romantic, but it can also be, I feel like, for some of you, it might be family. This could be like a brother, a sister. It could be a parent, but maybe even a child. I'm not too sure why this card is coming up for you, especially in a collective reading, but I do feel like you need to definitely set some strong boundaries between this person and yourself. And then this card coming up here in the big picture, what should you be focusing on? To the grave, not allowing yourself to give everything to this person. I feel like this person is either collecting information to see like how they can push your buttons, because maybe they've been away for so long and they're trying to see what your triggers are, how you react when your buttons are pushed. And I feel like this would be literally not giving them a reaction, gray rocking. Card 4, seeing the signs. This is how will I know when I'm, what? I can't even read my own writing. How will I know when I'm focused on the wrong thing in the future? 6, the witching hour. Favorable circumstances. How will I know when I'm focused on the wrong thing in the future? Favorable circumstances. Well, you're favorable, like, I think that you're just going to notice, like, things are starting to crumble around you. Things are starting to turn to shit. And that's your wake-up call. Like, hello, things are not going your way. Like, something has changed and it's not for the good. Make some adjustments. Let's go to the book and see what that has to say, though. The Witching Hour card is perhaps the most positive and powerful card in the deck, and represents extreme happiness and things coming together in a magical way. But this is supposed to be like when you know that you're focused on the wrong thing, so keep that in mind. This card means the circumstances are highly favorable for your question and situation. You can see the energy of the witching hour manifesting and an increase of finances, taking the next step in a relationship, getting a better job, finding the perfect house, or any other number of desirable outcomes related to your situation. Your spiritual hard work paying off. Yes. Okay. So I feel like that would be like a devolution of your life. Your finances starting to spiral out of control. That could be like mounting debt or increasing bills. That could be like your relationship starting to crumble around you because this person is, or another person, you know, if this situation happens again in the future, like it starts to affect your other relationships. Like everything is fine and dandy. And then this one person comes back into your life. And then like little by little, you notice like everybody starts to have problems and everybody's fighting and everybody's not getting along. People are whispering and talking about each other, things of that nature. Just everything around you starts to crumble. You need to sit down and really take a look and evaluate. I feel like she's meditating and she's really focusing and trying to pinpoint like what is going on. Why am I experiencing this? What has changed? This is card 5, zoomed out. How can I reconnect to the bigger picture? High Priestess, leadership. Again, I'm getting these meditation vibes. I see the planets here. I'm thinking like I'm automatically drawn to like astrology, working with the moon, moonology. Let's go to the book for High Priestess. But I feel like this would be like doing the deep internal work. I feel like this would be really focusing on your shadows and really focusing on yourself, seeing how your energies are coming into play with the changing moon cycles, with the changing planetary cycles. When are you falling into your high side? When are you falling into your low side? How are these influences affecting your day-to-day? Everyone is a leader, even if you don't lead huge crowds to greatness or influence the masses. You are the leader of your life and have the ability to take your path in the direction of your choosing. It takes courage to be a leader, even on a small scale, but your soul came into this lifetime knowing how to step into your greatness. You do not need to know the whole route to take the first step. It would be overwhelming for your higher self to lay out everything that is available to you. The vastness of spirit is too great for any one person to comprehend, but your soul knows just how much to give you at every leg of your journey. The High Priestess in Tarot represents moving forward without experience and trusting that intuition will guide you to the right path. The message here is similar. The High Priestess trusts in her intuition so much that she doesn't question the road forward, just because she can't see where it will lead, and others trust and follow her for her bravery and confidence. Trust you are being led to a rewarding and fulfilling life, even if what you feel called to do doesn't make sense. Embrace the desires that are coming to you, your dreams, your interests, and the things you feel strongly about are all clues guiding you to your calling. So how can I reconnect to the bigger picture? I feel like it's really just taking time out, trusting in yourself, trusting in the plan, the process, not having to understand what the universe has in store for you. The High Priestess is not like the life of the party. This is not Queen of Wands type of energy at play here. The High Priestess goes within. She spends a lot of time alone. She's learning. She's experimenting with her spiritual practice. She's always trying to evolve. She's definitely looking behind the veil. I feel like her hair is the veil. She's really tapped in. I love her eyes. Her eyes are white, like she's in a meditative state. She's not seeing things with her eyes. She's seeing things through her third eye. So I feel like that's how you can connect to the bigger picture. By removing yourself, your ego from the equation and looking at things through the spiritual lens. I do still get those moonology, those astrology vibes, like really looking at how these energies are coming into play. Not only for yourself, but the people who come into your life. You know, how are their energies being affected by the moon and the planets? You know, like which path are they falling into? Are they taking the higher road, or are they falling into the lower end of the spectrum? So pile 3, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Bye.